is listening to these stories, and we're bringing out lessons about a podcast. What did Red's mom tell her? Like Little Red might be going to her grandmother's house to record a podcast in this particular version, or to listen to one. Or when the big bad wolf catches her and is talking to her, she might say, I'm on my way to grandma's house. I'm going to be late for the podcast. But we're telling the traditional story. And then at the end of it, we might have different questions for the audience, different things to engage in as far as marketing, as far as platforms. They might have heard Spotify in there. They might have heard, different words that they're not familiar with, but because of the familiarity of the story and the repetition, they're actually learning the concepts of podcasting and how it works. And we get that engagement and dialogue going. And then we finish it up, we wrap it up, and we're out. And a lot of times, depending on the audience, we leave a little time for Q&A, especially with our adults. We typically do. If we're at a festival, that looks like something different. Typically, that's where they want a cultural experience, and we celebrate our African culture and heritage. So that's where we still might use storytelling. We definitely have our music, which is African drums, dununs, sangbans, the dunun ensemble, I should say, sangban, dunun, kinkani, our bells, our djembes, accessory instrument, the bala, our kashishis and whatnot. And then we bring additional performers if they'd like that, so that they can also help tell the stories, engage with the audience. They might act out a story in costume. So they might act out in a Nancy tale with spider costumes and such, because we've done that. And then they also dance. There might be dance in there. If there is, we always get our audience dancing with us too. So, and we do traditional rhythms. We do perform traditional African rhythms and music and songs. So we include that as well. So just depending on the audience and the event, those are the types of performances we do.
Oh wow, that sounds amazing. I definitely want to check out one of those performances. Now, since COVID, have the performances started back, or are you still kind of?
The performances never stopped, actually.
Oh,
So,
okay, wow.
yeah, like we actually had in-person performances right through the lockdowns. And then we also had virtual. We had a lot more virtual as well. Yes.
Ah,
So,
okay.
We just got out of a stage play production over the past weekend where I was playing the King of Ndongo, which is one of the historical kingdoms that's now in Angola, and she was my queen. And that was a fun time because
we actually, our ensemble was working
right.
with another theater company. So we partnered with them. Go ahead, Corey, you were going to
I would say it
say.
was a fun time because our dance theater was involved in creating the scenery with their costumes and props and their dances for the actual Kingdom of Ndongo, and it was great. I got to show off a little bit of my vocal talents, but then they threw a curveball at me, and at the end, it made me dance, which I'm not a dancer, so I did some
Right.
little raggedy shuffle, but I made it through. So,
Right,
so
right. And that's another part of our performances too. Corey writes stage plays, and we
Mm.
have produced some of our own stage plays as well. And so, along with that, our storytelling CDs and audiobooks. We had a couple back here behind us, hiding in the plant, behind the plant, behind us, and everything. And so, those are all part of our performances that have offered us or afforded us the benefit of a global audience. Our music is international. People download it all over the world. And so now with our YouTube channel, we've been able to do the same thing as well. So not just an audio version, but with the visual version. And we've got to level up like you and add the podcast.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I want to ask y'all, since y'all talking about the show, could you tell the viewers about Blind Guy, his wife, their life?
yeah, Blind Guys Wipe Their Life Live is our weekly broadcast. We do it every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 11:15 a.m. U.S. Eastern Standard Time. We say we take you from Hump Day to Friday and count you down to the weekend. And we talk about changing the narrative of normal, what people think is normal when they hear about a certain profession or expectations they may have as far as life is concerned. Like we had a great conversation about CBD oil and as an additive to smoothies and the health benefits versus the myths about CBD oil and
That
whatnot.
particular guest that came on, she had her own smoothie business and CBD oils or the refreshers. She called it refreshing water, where she would add CBD water or a shot of CBD to the smoothies. So we're thinking, great, we've got the guest on. She's got all the information about the myths, the legends, the facts. The audience, the virtual audience that was in the chat, though, they were also bringing information. So it's been a great place to really learn, exchange information, and share power that way. The YouTube channel Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life has really motivated both of us in a different way. And we have our children; they are still involved with it, and so it's cool because they will see us getting ready for a broadcast or a podcast. Like today, they said, "Hey, are you guys on someone's show?" You know what I mean? And so that's a way that they would see us. They were at the festivals, they were at some of the stage plays. Well, pretty much all of them that they were born for.
They're all born into a show.
Yeah, because they were all born on tour or into a show. But I don't think
Wow.
they saw it the same because if they were in a show, they still had a lot of playtime, a lot of downtime. They were seeing friends, and this is really nice with the virtual setting and the YouTube channel because they actually see that. Wait a minute, mom and dad are working. Oh, that's how this thing.
And they've gotten involved too. My oldest daughter, she's in charge of pre broadcast communication, sending out the text message to say what tell our some of our fans what's coming up on today's show. So
They help with
they
thumbnails.
do help with thumbnails. They help with voiceovers, recordings. You hear a lot of their voices in Laquita's plant-based treat videos that are part of the broadcast. They even come in, they'll pop in and do a word on the street for a segment as far as on and being in the live broadcast itself.
So, I'll briefly mention that with our show, it's not just like a YouTube channel where we just get on and talk and stream. We run it like we run our other performances. There's an opening, there's a closing, and there's a main section in the middle where you're learning something. So, our opening, we're greeting our audience, we're popping our guest in to say hello. We're going through the comments, and then the main section is the guest. Corey mentioned the word on the street. Sometimes before the guest, we'll have some children, whether it's ours or somebody else's
Or the
children.
guest of the day that might be their children.
Right. So it's a way that we can highlight young people. They come in and they tell us about a word, whether it's a slang word that's on and popping right
They
now.
might introduce an instrument that they play.
Yeah. And there's so many different ways that we're inspiring the young people. Then we have our guests on, we interview them. The audience engages in the same way that we do live. And then we close it out with our plant-based treat. So that's near and dear to my heart. Food is my thing. And we live a plant-based lifestyle now. So we have, that short video that pops in, telling you the nutrients and the values of this particular recipe that you're watching, and then we say goodbye and we're out. And so that's one thing that we've really enjoyed about our Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life YouTube channel because it really mirrors our real time life, our real time performances.
Okay, okay. So if you're viewing, make sure you check out their show. It's an amazing show. I was a guest on the show. They have a lot of amazing guests. Now where can they find? Are you on social media as well, or
Yes and no. We're trying to do better, but definitely we are
okay?
on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. The most active place right now is YouTube, but we're all of those places. Blind Guy, His Wife. I think
Their life.
I think we're Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life on all of those places: Facebook,
Okay.
Instagram, and YouTube, of course.
And we do have a web page, blindguyhiswife.com.
.com.
And that's where they can go and they can find out the weekly schedule. They can find out who our sponsors are, how they can become a sponsor through our Buy Me a Coffee page. And they can also get merch because we have a merch line that we started with pressing. So, and we have T-shirts right now and it's growing. It's going to expand to include other items as well.
Oh, so yeah, we do have storytelling merch coming. So that way, people can get their blanket and hear their story time, one of our stories, right along with that. So it's a package that we're working on through them.
Okay, okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for coming to the show. You are definitely inspiring, very talented, and I truly encourage y'all to keep doing what y'all doing, and I wish y'all the best. Until next time, family, Taye speaks. Peace.